Good morning. So as you can see, spring is coming, the sun's out, and it's a good time to be riding. But if you've been spending the winter doing zone 2 or longer, slower rides with a few intervals here and there, now is the time probably to be working on trying to build your VO2. So what is VO2? Well, VO2 is the maximum amount of oxygen you can take on board. And there is a genetic sort of ceiling to that. Some people have got amazing genetics and have got huge VO2 maxes, but most of us don't really operate anywhere near our genetic ceiling unless you've been training for years and years and you're at a very high level already. So for most of us, doing VO2 training can lead to some good boosts in performance. So if you want to do some VO2 training, how do you go about it? Well, basically it's working above FTP around the 110-120% range of FTP. So you could do that on power, about 110-120%, or up to maybe 110% of your heart rate FTP, and working in various intervals, various length intervals in that sort of zone. And if you're not sure about zones, there is another video on the channel to give you a guidance on how to accurately find your training zones. So when you know what your functional threshold power is, or your functional threshold heart rate, as I said, it's working above that. Not hugely above that, because then you'll be anaerobic and not using oxygen really, and not much. So you want to stay just above that functional threshold. And by its very nature, you'll only be able to do 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 8-minute intervals at that sort of effort. Starting off probably, especially if you're a bit older, with 2-minute intervals maybe, with 2 minutes between them. Go hard for 2 minutes. Try to keep it consistent across the effort, so you're not really going out too hard and then blowing up, but a nice hard 2-minute above FTP. And then have a 2-minute break and do it again, and see if you can do 3 or 4 of those to start off with. And the nice thing about these intervals is it's very easy to build them up with either increased time or increased amount of intervals. So you could then work on doing maybe 2 sets of those. So if you do 4 or 5 intervals, 2 minutes, have a break, 10-20 minute break, and do another 5 sets. So you're gradually working up to something like 20 minutes working at VO2 across your ride or workout. If you want to make it harder, you can just extend your intervals by maybe doing 3 or 4 minute intervals with the same sort of 2-minute break in between. And by doing that over a period of maybe a month, you should notice an increase in that sort of top end performance and your ability to take on board oxygen. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see more of the videos as they come out on the channel. If you haven't got a power meter, it's quite easy to do those intervals just by riding hard for 2 minutes, but keep it a sustained hard effort, and you probably wouldn't have been able to do much more when the 2 minutes ends. And try to do, as I said, 3 or 4 of those, building up, and a couple of sets maybe after a few weeks, to gradually increase that VO2 max. And what you should find is, as I said, it does respond quite quickly, quicker than like the long slow riding effects. VO2 does affect your body pretty quickly because you're working that much harder. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe, and until next time, bye for now.